You've been told your inner world is your superpower. That's a lie. For INFJs, that beautiful, complex inner space has become the single biggest trap keeping you from your actual power. And by the end of this video, you'll understand exactly why and how to break free. While you've been perfecting scenarios in your mind, your actual life has been shrinking. The gap between your internal vision and external reality keeps growing. And instead of bridging that gap, you retreat deeper into fantasy. You'll discover how your dominant function, introverted intuition, has been sabotaging your real-world potential, and the precise psychological shift that transforms your inner world from prison into strategic planning center. Before we start, please hit the like button, comment, and subscribe so you won't miss any of our weekly deep dives into the world of personality types. And if you're looking for a deeper understanding of yourself and your INFJ personality, browse our favorite INFJ products in the description and click the link in the comments to take our favorite free personality test. The Comfort Prison: Why Your Inner World Became Your Cage. Let's start with what's really happening in your brain when you disappear into that inner world. Your dominant function, introverted intuition, creates what psychologists call the "I" loop. You take in possibilities and patterns, then retreat inward to process them. But instead of using those insights to take action, you get stuck in endless simulation mode. Think about it. In your mind, you can have the perfect conversation with your boss about that promotion. You can visualize exactly how you'll start that creative project. You can imagine the ideal romantic relationship down to the smallest details. Your brain releases the same dopamine whether you're actually achieving these things or just thinking about them. So why risk the messy, uncertain world of real action when you can get the reward without the effort? This is where your secondary function, extroverted feeling, becomes the trap door that keeps you locked inside. Every time you consider bringing your inner vision into reality, you immediately sense all the potential reactions. What if people think you're weird? What if you fail publicly? What if someone gets upset by your authentic expression? Your phi function, which should be your bridge to the external world, instead becomes the alarm system that keeps you internal. Here's where it gets really insidious. The longer you stay in your head, the more perfect your internal standards become. In your mind, you can craft the flawless novel, write the perfect business plan, design the ideal life. But reality is messy, imperfect, full of unexpected variables. So when you finally do attempt something real, it never measures up to the pristine version you created mentally. This creates a feedback loop where imperfect action feels like failure compared to perfect imagination. Meanwhile, something dangerous is happening to your actual circumstances. Reality doesn't pause while you're busy daydreaming. If you're not actively shaping your environment, someone else will. Your boss makes decisions about your career trajectory. Your relationships drift or deteriorate from neglect. Your financial situation stagnates or worsens. Your living situation becomes more restrictive. The cruel irony is that while you're imagining a better life, your real life is getting demonstrably worse by externally observable metrics. You might tell yourself you're planning or preparing, but honestly ask yourself, how many hours this week did you spend fantasizing versus how many hours taking concrete action toward your goals? Most INFJs hit a breaking point where the fantasy stops working as an escape mechanism. Maybe you realize you've been having the same daydreams for months or years without any real-world progress. Maybe the gap between your vision and reality becomes so wide it's actually painful to think about. Maybe you start feeling like you're living someone else's life while your authentic self remains trapped in your head. This is the moment of recognition that changes everything. When you finally admit that your inner world has become a comfortable prison that's keeping you from your actual power. Because here's what nobody tells you about being an INFJ. Your real strategic advantage isn't your ability to imagine perfect scenarios. It's your ability to bridge the visionary and the practical, to take your internal insights and anchor them in external reality. The question that breaks the spell is brutally simple. What if your life never gets any better than it is right now? Not the life in your head, the life you're actually living, measured by facts someone else could verify. The strategic awakening, confronting your reality. This question forces you to do something most INFJs have been avoiding for years. Look at your life through the lens of externally observable facts rather than internal experience. Not how you feel about your circumstances, but what those circumstances actually are. Someone looking at your life from the outside, what would they see? Let's do this audit together. Your relationships. How many people in your life actually know who you are beneath the surface? Not the version of yourself you present to keep things smooth, but your authentic thoughts, values, and dreams. How often do you initiate plans with friends versus waiting for them to reach out? When was the last time you had a conversation that left you feeling truly seen and understood? Your career trajectory. Are you in a role that utilizes your actual strengths and interests? Or are you just collecting a paycheck while your real talents atrophy? If you continue on your current path, where will you be in 5 years? Does that future version of yourself excite you or fill you with dread? Your living situation. Do you wake up in an environment that reflects who you are, or does your space feel like a temporary placeholder? Have you created a home that supports your authentic self, or are you still living like you're waiting for your real life to begin? Your financial reality. Not your earning potential or your future plans, but your actual current financial position. Are you building toward the lifestyle you want, or are you stuck in survival mode because you've been too busy fantasizing to take strategic action? Here's where most INFJs experience what I call the grief of potential. When you finally see the gap between your vision and your reality, it hurts. All those scenarios you've been perfecting in your mind, all those versions of yourself you've been rehearsing, they feel real because to your brain, they were real. Now you have to mourn the life you thought you were building while acknowledging the life you've actually been living. This grief is necessary. You can't fix what you won't face, and you can't improve what you don't appreciate. Before you can fall in love with building your reality, you have to accept where you actually are right now. Not where you should be, not where you could be, but where you are. The shift happens when you stop using your internal vision as an escape from reality and start using it as a blueprint for reality. Your North Star vision, that perfect life you've been imagining, it's not meant to be your destination. It's meant to be your compass. The question isn't, how do I create a reality that matches my internal vision perfectly? The question is, how do I improve my reality based on where I am today? This is where strategic thinking replaces wishful thinking. Instead of waiting for the perfect moment to launch your dream career, you get a job that's 10% more aligned with your values than your current one. Instead of imagining the perfect relationship, you work on becoming someone capable of attracting and maintaining healthy connections. Instead of fantasizing about the ideal living situation, you make small improvements to your current space that reflect your authentic taste. The magic happens in the gap between vision and action. Every time you take a small step that bridges your inner world with external reality, you're anchoring another piece of your authentic self in the real world. You're proving to yourself that your internal insights have external value. You're building evidence that your vision isn't just fantasy, it's achievable through strategic, incremental progress. Activating your external power, the SE strategy. Here's what most INFJs don't realize about their cognitive stack. Your inferior function, extroverted sensing, isn't your weakness. It's your secret weapon for escaping the fantasy trap. SE is your connection to immediate reality, present moment awareness, and concrete action. When you activate this function strategically, you stop simulating life and start living it. The C strategy works by creating external validation loops that make reality more rewarding than fantasy. Start with your physical environment. Make one small change to your space that reflects your authentic aesthetic. Rearrange furniture. Buy a plant that speaks to you. Hang artwork that inspires you. Your C function thrives on sensory input that aligns with your internal vision. Next, activate your body. INFJs spend so much time in their heads, they forget they have physical forms. Take a walk without headphones and notice what you actually see, hear, and smell. Cook a meal that requires your full attention. Engage in any activity that demands present moment awareness. This isn't about fitness. It's about reconnecting with the physical world your mind has been trying to escape. Create micro-commitments that bridge internal and external. If you've been fantasizing about writing, start with 1 paragraph per day. If you've been imagining a creative project, spend 15 minutes per day taking concrete action. If you've been dreaming about better relationships, send 1 genuine text per day to someone you care about. Small, consistent external actions build momentum faster than grand internal plans. Pay attention to environmental cues that support or sabotage your authentic expression. Surround yourself with people who encourage your real thoughts and dreams. Eliminate or minimize exposure to environments that make you want to hide. Your SE function is highly sensitive to external energy. Use this sensitivity strategically to create conditions where being authentic feels natural rather than risky. The bridge effect happens when your internal and external worlds start working together instead of competing. You'll know you're succeeding when taking action feels as satisfying as planning action. When your real life starts generating the same excitement as your fantasy life. When people in your actual environment start responding to the authentic version of yourself you've been keeping internal. Watch for warning signs that you're slipping back into the fantasy trap. Spending more time planning than doing. Avoiding situations where you might have to show up authentically. Feeling more excited about imaginary future scenarios than present moment opportunities. These are signals to re-engage your say function and anchor yourself back in reality. The inner world that's been your escape can become your strategic planning center, but only if you stop living there. Your choice is simple. Keep perfecting fantasies while your real life shrinks, or start building the bridge between vision and reality, one small action at a time. Check out our other videos on strategic INFJ power and subscribe for more. If you want to continue the journey to understanding yourself or an INFJ in your life, click either of the following videos, where we continue to unlock the secrets of the INFJ personality type.